I'm Mahdi Shaheeb Sher. My website is www.shaheeb.com. I think one of my interests in the world is the UK Reform Party with Nigel Farage. I think with the British politics, the United Kingdom, I think they are going through a period of change with their kind of politics. I think they have far right policies with a lot of far right politics. And I think with this far right politics, I think Britain has moved away from the mainstream and it's heading in the same direction as Europe and America in kind of engaging in with its trade interests around the world, in kind of dealing with the challenges coming from China, India, and the rest of the world, including the BRICS nations like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So I think that Britain has become a little bit more strict and orthodox in its kind of politics around the world. I think you could see this in how the British people have elected the Conservative government within Great Britain. I think that the British have had to deal with a significant drop in standards of living. And I think that they have had to deal with of having to deal with this living standards. They have an issue with the winter fuel allowance, with not being able to shop at high street shops, but more budget orientated high street shopping. I think the quality of life has deteriorated, and I think people are affected by that. So I think one of the ways this has kind of manifested itself in Europe and in Great Britain is in kind of electing the Conservative Party as opposed to the Labour Party, which has run Great Britain for the past in excess of 20 years and quite successfully as well. If you look at how Britain has modernised under the Labour Party, it has done reasonably well to modernise its country to become one of the leading world class countries compared to Europe, like France and Germany, and also in line with other leading countries like maybe Japan and America as well. So it is still a leading country under the government because I think the Labour government have invested a lot in the public. They've modernised hospitals, schools, roads. They've invested a lot in kind of public infrastructure, but they've created a lot of jobs with that investment. So there's high employment. They have things like the minimum wage there, which is very successful in raising kind of the standards of living in Great Britain. So I think Britain has done well to compete within Europe. But I think that because of its kind of conservative interests and its far right politics, similar to Mary Le Pen in France and kind of the Christian Democrats in Germany. And I think also, I think we have similar far right interests in Spain as well, and possibly, I'm not sure. So I think that the world is becoming more competitive economically, and I think with this we have had a new introduction of the Reform Party and Nigel Farage for the past 15 years, who created kind of the British National Party, and they focused on Brexit to win support with the British public. I think that the concern with Reform and Nigel Farage is its rhetoric of moving away from Europe and standing alone as an independent country. And as a British National Party, I think they're trying to put Britain first in Europe. But I think to have far right politics that kind of draws its history from Kilroy Silk who was a TV presenter. I believe Kilroy Silk was the first person to jump on the British National Party as a political party for Britain for its future. And I think since Kilroy Silk, we've had the introduction of the British National Party, the BNP, and then from that we've had Nigel Farage, and we've had kind of the Reform Party as well, who are doing very well to, I think, make Brexit a popular option when I think most of the British public, were content to remain in Europe because it was good and prosperous for Great Britain. So I think that there has been a downward spiral in the British economy because it's chosen to leave the European Union, similar to Spain and Greece, how they left the European Union and kind of the exit involved there. But I think that the British National Party and the reform is a concerning development um, for kind of Europe, kind of British National Party politics and its policies within Europe to exit from Europe and to be completely independent from Europe, have more of a stronger special relationship with America. I think that's the aim, and a lot of it has been built on the objective of building a special relationship with America. I think with this interest in building a special relationship with America, Britain has kind of developed itself as an independent country in kind of Europe. And I think that with that, it's prepared to take a hit with its economy, which hasn't been performing as expected in line with European forecasts, various other forecasts. So I think that Great Britain faced double-digit inflation of about 11%. It's also had the interest rates that have been quite high, about 5%. So I think that it has been competitively quite broken. But I think Nigel Farage is a threat similar to Mary Le Pen of France. Um, I think she's related to maybe Hitler and his kind of political idealism in 1930s Germany. So I think that she does have strong family connections and roots in far right Europe. I think far right politics, are very strong and very large in Europe, and is quite a challenge in Europe. I think that she's a very strong contender and political opponent for Europe's future. I think if Europe was to head in the direction of Mary Le Pen and what she dreams of for Europe, it's more of a independent, standalone Europe in the world, maybe with a strong European Union. That's similar to the United States of America, maybe a European Union that's equivalent to the United States of America. So I think that's what Mary Le Pen kind of dreams of, an independent Europe, perhaps with a strong European Union. And I think with that, she is developing a strong economic model for Europe. And most of Europe is now far right in its politics. I mean, this can be checked, of course, with the newspaper rhetoric that is read by a lot of people in Europe. A lot of it is very protective about its economic interests around the world. And I think it tries to build economic position in Europe as well, as it has earned its position in the world. It doesn't take for granted an equal world where everybody has the same competitive advantage, or everybody enjoys the same competitiveness or advantage in the world. these monopolies that have been created and should be protected. It kind of sees technology which has not been developed by other countries but has exclusively been developed by America and maybe a few European companies as well. I think that there is maybe a shift of balance between the, the Western advanced economy and more of a balanced global economy with a lot more economic powers in the world that are doing quite well for themselves, are more prosperous and balanced compared to the rest of the world, with their own dignity of rights and economic rights and benefits. So I think that the world has become a lot more favourable. I think this has largely been down to America's first black president, Barack Obama. I think he was elected America's first black president, which historically is a very good note for America. I think it's a very positive development for America, a good positive development for America. I think America has quite rightly demonstrated to the world it does see the world as a fair and equal world for the rights of all people, irrespective of their colour or background. I think America has done very well and has displayed that the world as a world is perhaps a multicultural world with different identities, cultures, and people that all have the same privileges and rights as the rest of the world. So I think that this largely goes down to the achievements of Barack Obama, who was America's first black president. He was very successful as a president. I think he did a lot for African countries and South American countries, Asian countries like China and Indonesia, maybe Japan and India. I think he may have balanced the relationship with Russia as well. So I think we are looking at a more harmonious, balanced, and equal and friendly world because of the politics we've had from America for the past 10 years under Barack Obama. And I think with this, we have a different global economy and a different political landscape that has a lot more countries involved. I think that we should be more liberal, tolerant, and accommodating to the countries that are now involved in the global economy, and we shouldn't be too protective or too concerned by any kind of erosion of kind of primacies that we've taken for granted, benefits that we've all taken for granted. I think that the world is a very big place with a lot of prosperity to afford to a lot of countries around the world. And I think it's an equal right for all countries to share in the benefits of the world, including its wealth benefits and financial resources. Thank you.